Alright, so this happened back when I was around 11. Halloween was my favorite night of the year, and that year was the first time my friends and I were allowed to go trick-or-treating on our own. We felt invincible with our pillowcases, running door to door, fueled by sugar, and the thrill of Halloween freedom. We started out just as it was getting dark. Our neighborhood was packed with kids and parents, houses all lit up with decorations. Right as we hit the first house, we noticed this guy standing across the street, wearing this super creepy, realistic mask. Something between a rotting zombie and a clown with a twisted smile. At first we figured he was just one of the older teens in the neighborhood. He didn't seem like he was with anyone, just kind of lurking there. We shrugged it off and went to the next house. But every few houses we'd notice him again, lingering at the edge of someone's yard or standing under a streetlight just far enough away that we couldn't see his face well. Every time we moved on, he was always just a few steps behind watching us. My friend Jen made a joke that he must be a parent trying to scare us. But after the third or fourth time we spotted him, we were all getting weirded out. We decided to speed up and take a different route, thinking we could lose him. But sure enough, when we turned onto a new street, there he was, standing on the corner, that eerie mask grinning at us in the shadows. Maybe he's following his kids? My friend Mark said, but his voice wavered. We kept going, pretending he wasn't there. Every time we looked back, he was just there, watching. Not saying a word, not holding a candy bag, just staring with that lifeless grin. Eventually, we were so creeped out that we decided to call it a night. I told my friends they could come over to my place to hang out and count our candy, and we all rushed back as fast as we could. My house was only a few blocks away, and as we walked up my driveway, I glanced back and saw him again, standing at the end of the street, motionless. I tried to laugh it off, saying he'd probably just go back to trick-or-treating, but my heart was racing. Inside, we dumped our candy on the living room floor and tried to get back into the Halloween spirit, telling ghost stories and joking about who could eat the most candy. I kept glancing out the window, though, half expecting to see that masked figure again. But the street was empty, no sign of him. A little while later, Jen decided to leave. I walked her to the door, and we both froze. Across the street, standing in the glow of a streetlight, was the masked man. He wasn't moving, just staring at my house. Jen bolted down the street, and I slammed the door shut, locking it as fast as I could. My friends and I huddled together, trying to convince ourselves it was just some older kid messing with us. We closed all the blinds and stayed away from the windows, trying to focus on our candy and ignore the feeling that we were being watched. After my friends left, I locked the doors and tried to shake off the whole night, convincing myself it was just some older kid with a weird sense of humor. But when I went back to the living room, I noticed something strange on the floor, muddy footprints trailing from the back door into the hallway. My heart skipped a beat. I knew I'd locked every door, so how could he have gotten in? I tried not to panic, but the footprints didn't stop there. They continued down the hall toward the staircase, as if someone had walked around inside my house. I grabbed my phone and, hands shaking, tried to text my parents. My fingers fumbled over the keys as I typed, "Someone's in the house. I need you to come home." I hit send, but I knew they probably wouldn't see it right away since they were out at a party. Then I heard it, the soft creak of a floorboard upstairs. It sounded like someone shifting their weight, moving slowly, carefully, as if they didn't want to be heard. My whole body went cold. I ducked into the nearest closet, trying not to make a sound, clutching my phone with a death grip. In the darkness, I could hear my own breathing, shallow and quick, and the faint tap, tap, tap of footsteps moving closer, coming down the stairs. I dared a peek through the slats, and there he was, tall, masked, his clothes streaked with mud, standing at the bottom of the staircase. He tilted his head as if listening for me, then began slowly scanning the room. I was too terrified to even blink. Every instinct screamed at me to stay silent, to stay still, but I was afraid he'd hear my racing heartbeat. I frantically texted my parents again, barely daring to breathe. "Please hurry, he's inside." The masked man moved through the living room, his footsteps echoing in the quiet house. He checked each room, looking around like he was searching for something or someone. Every time he paused, my heart stopped, hoping he wouldn't think to check the closet. Just as he reached the hallway leading to my hiding spot, I heard the faint hum of a car engine. Headlights flashed through the windows, and he froze. My parents were home. He stood there, perfectly still for a second, then quickly slipped back through the kitchen and out the back door, vanishing into the night just as my parents walked in. When I stumbled out of the closet, pale and shaking, they thought I'd just been scared by a Halloween prank gone wrong. But when I showed them the muddy footprints, they knew it was serious. We called the police, but by the time they arrived, the masked man was long gone, leaving only the muddy prints behind. To this day, we never figured out who he was or why he was there. But every Halloween, I still make sure every door and window is locked. And sometimes late at night, I swear I hear those same soft footsteps echoing in my mind, reminding me of the night he came inside.